Ah, what a wonderful day. It's about 2 days away from my birthday and I'm looking forward to it. Going on to a stream, hanging out with you guys, chatting here. Excuse me? I need to wipe my glasses for a second. Is that actually true? We can't always rely on Google Translate, but it says here, next year, Eve will be the 10th anniversary of its release, so 10 years since its release. So we are working on a remake version. There will be a charge, but we plan to sell it next year. Realize how exciting that is? A remake of Eve. A remake of one of the most defining games in the RPG Maker community. Not just the horror community in RPG Maker, but just in general. When people think of RPG Maker games, the first game that they think of is Eve. Or for me personally, it's The Witch's House, but this is not about that. This is about Eve here. And this is so exciting to see. Like, so many people have clicked that like button, including myself. Over 100,000 likes, over 130,000 likes as of the time of recording this video. That is something super, super special. Not the amount of likes, but just for the fact that this game is something that is so earth-shatteringly defining for people that it was like, would we ever get a remake of Eve? Because we've gotten remakes of other games, Paranoiac, Mermaid Swamp, times Mad Father, Misao, the Strange Man, not Strange Man, but the Series Man series or something like that, with the Crooked Man, the Boogeyman, the Sandman and the Hanged Man. I know they're out of order, but Eve was the one in which we thought would have been left out here, but it's not. And it is confirmed that there will be a remake of it next year in 2022. So that means that my plans for retirement when it comes to this kind of Let's Play style is gonna have to wait. I'm really excited for this game, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you've been living under a rock or anything like that, Eve is a game that is made in RPG Maker 2003, I believe, or 2000. But I believe all of its assets, or most of the assets, are original. If you don't know what Eve is, you might be living under a rock. But this is what Eve is. Eve, or Eb. Eve. Maybe Eb. Maybe I've been mispronouncing it the whole time, but that's not the point here. But Eb is a freeware horror game by Curie made in RPG Maker 2000. Okay, that's that rumor removed and stuff like that. 2003, it's 2000. One before the 1990s or anything like that. So we go to leave here. So there isn't a confirmed date in which it was originally released, although there might be, I swear, if I remember correctly. But we have different screenshots here in the blue gallery, in the part of the game before we go into the madness, the green gallery, and the inventory. And I think the inventory menu is such a unique thing at that point of time, because I think it was the first RPG Maker game with that kind of menu where it's like, it's not like you press escape or X or anything like that and it loads up with a bunch of text. No, you press escape and it literally loads with the fourth screen here on the bottom right. It has these items and stuff like that, but it's really, really unique in its own way. Like, it has item and the description of it, but I don't think there was any other game like it at that point in time which had that kind of menu. But also at this point in time, there wasn't a game like it which really captured people's attention and interest within a game like this. Like, I think this game in its own right is a one of a kind. Now, there isn't really any details as to like what's been added on to the game. It could just be a reskin of the game itself, which I would be perfectly happy with. I'll be perfectly happy with a game which is just literally a HD remaster or whatever the developers are doing. Or it could have like other endings to it. Like, there was at one point in which people, or a fan or something like that, made a fan ending called the Green Edition, which had the sacrifice ending, which Eve sacrifice herself rather than either Gary or Mary sacrificing themselves, and that wasn't allowed, but it still was a thing that happened. But it was such an iconic game in which people did that, or a person did that. Can't quite remember now. But this is a really defining moment. Like a really defining moment. I know there's no chance of the developer actually watching this video because it's like, well, I'm in English, I'm in Japanese, something like that, and it's very unlikely that a Japanese person would speak English and stuff like that. But if you're watching this, then thank you ever so much for this treat, but also as well for getting your game to have this kind of magnitude within the RPG Maker community, where I don't think there is any other game which has been inspired as much as Eve has. Like, when you go onto different project pages on Tumblr or on Twitter, you can see lots of different games which are under development which have been inspired by Eve in some case. It may be on the synopsis, or when you play throughout the game you can think, this is quite similar to Eve. Not copying, but just similar. Similarity is good, copy is not. So you can bet when this remake comes out that I will be covering it here on the channel. And there may be some additional news in the future, like I don't know what else Corey has in store. So let's see, BGM has been partially changed due to circumstances. Mary's theme was newly created, so please look forward to. Okay, so there is other things here. And this one over here, there's still a lot of work left. I'm worried if I can really complete it, but preparing various things, so please look forward to next year. Also, another thing, if you're watching this, Corey, if you have to postpone it to 2023 in order to get the most complete remake format of this, then please do that. Like, don't feel like you need to rush your product out, because it is such a cherishable game. Such a cherishable game. Like, I think this here is the old version, and this here is the new version. Like, it's cleaner, it's 16:9, not 4:3. It's just awesome. Like, really awesome to see all this put together and stuff like that. It's fantastic. Such a fantastic thing to behold and stuff like that. So many memories within the community itself has been brought about because of Eve, and I am super excited to see what else there is in store. Like, the graphics look brighter and cleaner in a way, but then again, people always be like, well, the original was always going to be the best and the remakes are just higher definition but not as memorable because you didn't live and grow up with your childhood with, or your adulthood, young adulthood, with the memories that are the original game. And I can agree to that to a certain extent, but I feel like remakes in themselves are a repolished, revitalized version of the original game. Revitalized because you're looking at the game with modern tactics and graphics and ideas and also put into the game. But at the same time as well, there haven't been a huge amount of activity within this community which has brought about this kind of idea of these kind of games being put out. I'm hoping that VG Person will be able to translate this game, the remake that is, or if it's a paid game then it will be another publisher, kind of like Noel the Mortal Fate in a way, because I'm not too sure, but wasn't VG Person meant to translate that, but then the developers got a somebody else to publish it under a company name or something like that. I can't quite remember now. But this is, without a shadow of doubt, the most hype that people have gotten in order of a, not in order, but a remake of a particular game. So, I haven't really got a horror visual novel video to prepare for tonight because, well, mainly generally because of celebrating my birthday today rather than on Tuesday with my family, because it's much easier to do on a Sunday rather than a Tuesday for everyone. But this is so exciting, folks, and I am looking forward to seeing what there is in the future when it comes to news and stuff like that. If it means going to 2023 with the remake, then do that. I would rather have a complete product than a polished product, or sorry, an unpolished product to get it out there as quickly as possible. I want the memories of this game to be as cherishable as possible in the remake, because some remakes in like mangas and animes and games like that, it can be completely mucked up because it was rushed, it was too much of people pushing the developers or the makers of stuff like that to push it out. So I would say, if you're going for 2022 and you feel like you can do it comfortably, 2022 it is. But just keep in mind that by your tweets, if it's a struggle to get it out in that frame of time, let's say the BGM or the next tweet after that, there's still a lot of work left and I'm worried if I can really complete it. So just saying, please be mindful. If it gets delayed, then it gets delayed. But I'm confident that we will get a very, very, very memorable time with the remake. Probably just as memorable as the original, but still the original always captures the heart, because that is where the love of that particular game really epicentered from. And I feel like there is no other remake out there that is possibly as exciting for the whole community as the remake for Eve is. For me personally, The Witcher's House is definitely up there more for me. It's more of my taste in RPG Maker games, but this is definitely up there, and it's definitely got a lot of traction behind it. So, something like that. I was actually at a restaurant today when Corey tweeted out that tweet about the anniversary, and it's just like, I'm currently busy, I can't do anything about this. But nonetheless, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, then make sure to leave a like on it. If you're new to the channel, if you looked at this because of the title itself, I make videos on RPG Maker games. I've made videos in the past with, let's say, the original Eve, and so many other RPG Maker games as well. A lot of the most popular ones, like the Crooked Man. I know that's not made in the RPG Maker engine, but it still revolves around the same community because it feels like an RPG Maker game. Mad Father, same kind of circumstances. Mermaid Swarm, The Witch's House, only a lot of other games that I can't think of at the top of my head because there's too many of them and I don't want to try and delve into this any longer than I could. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you all in the next video. Make sure to check out the channel when the game releases. Thank you so much for watching and take care of yourselves.